Weeks ago in Western Australia, Subiaco was successful in taking out the premiership, and of course last Saturday won the VFL Grand Final, won in convincing fashion by Hawthorn. They're doing battle today at the Subiaco ground in Perth. Let's go there now live to our commentary team headed by Sandy Roberts.
A big welcome to our viewers in Melbourne through HSV7 with the news that the game here at Subiaco Oval is 14 minutes old and Hawthorn have been playing superbly. They're leading at the moment, 3 goals, 3-21 to Subiaco's 1 goal, and we've seen some spirited clashes, particularly between Dermot Brereton at centre-half forward and Mark Zanotti, who's playing half-back. Commentators today, Sandy Roberts, comments from Ken McCauley, John Rogers speaking.
Yes, you're quite right, John. It's been a great opening, and one thing we should mention for Victorian fans, particularly Hawthorn fans, you can see that your boys are wearing their official training jumpers because of the similarity of the two Guernseys. It was Hawthorn who changed and are in the yellow Guernseys. Players out of the Premiership 20, Chris Mew, Kennedy, Wallace and Ayres coming in, Whitman, Jenke, Hanley, Byrne, Judge and Lester Smith. That many because on this particular occasion they are having the 4 interchange players. But Subi have struggled to get it down deep into their attacking zone. Here they've got an opportunity now as Dean is clear, hooks it back in towards the true half-forward spot. No mark is taken. It's Schwab who comes over the top to tap it clear. Back towards the centre. Loveridge, wearing the long sleeves, goes in. Can't get it out. Whitman was there to lend assistance, but eventually umpire Peter Cameron comes in and says, you shouldn't have done that. You've just given Subi a free kick.
Yep, and the goal scorers for Hawthorn at this stage, Jason Dunstall, who's played superbly at full forward, has got 1. So is Dermot Brereton and Peter Curran. And the lone goal scorer for Subiaco is Stephen Sells. But they're into attack. This is young Langdon. Langdon has a shot from 25 metres out. And I might tell you, Melbourne viewers, that this young man is playing just his 4th game of league football. And he's achieved in those 4 games, Ken McCauley, what a lot of players haven't. He's played in a winning grand final.
Yes, one player comes to mind that Victorian fans would remember. In state matches, Derek Chadwick played over 250 games for East Perth and never won grand final victory. So Langdon from the country.
Although for VFL fans, you could talk about someone like Bobby Skilton.
Yes,
3 Brownlow medals and umpteen games and never a grand final. Centre bounce once again. Now, can that spur Subiaco on? Dipier Domenico goes through, but without the football. Trying to burst his way through was Dark. He couldn't do so, but he's got plenty of support. They go into attack again. Russo is waiting at the back. Caught behind now. Whitman it is who pushes it wide. Todd Bremen is there for Subiaco. Puts body over the ball and heads towards the line. And it drifts out some 40 metres from the Subiaco attacking zone. But a frantic start to this game, and it's good to see both sides taking it seriously. $20,000 going to the winner.
And talking about the crowd, there's about 25,000, 26,000 people here, which is excellent given the fact that the official footy, if you like to call it that, is over. But this part of the America's Cup Festival of Sport here in Western Australia has attracted a great deal of interest. Ball to be bounced on Subiaco's 50-metre line. 2 Hawthorn players get mixed up. Langdon gets through traffic. Boots the ball up towards Bremen, knocked away from him intelligently. Russo tried to come through. Now it's Schwab with a long hand pass to Tuck. Tuck goes by hand further afield to Byrne, it looked like. His hand pass to Green. It was E to Green. Now Green, a high kick to half forward. Dipier Domenico getting underneath it. I'll tell you something about the man playing on him at the moment. He's a boxer. And I guess you couldn't think of anyone better, Sandy, than playing on someone like Dipier Domenico. But the kid Ian Dargy is an amateur boxer and can go, I might tell you.
Well, it may be interesting a little bit later on. One other interesting point for Hawthorn fans. Russell Morris is wearing jumper 32. Rocket Eade is 24. And Ray Jenke on the interchange is 43. As Dippy's kick is high and a fraction too wide. So Danny Brereton, thumbs up to the crowd. Don't worry, he'll play to them. Look at him. Have a look at him. Hang on, they're unbelievable.
That's the sort of stuff people come through the turnstiles to have a look at, isn't it?
Dead right. Good to see. And
He's right on the job, Peter Cameron, isn't he? Is he a policeman?
he's not, but I believe he has joined Actors Equity. As Zanotti goes in towards the centre of the ground here at Subiaco once again. Peter Schwab is waiting at the back, picks it up now, tries to shrug one tackle, it does so. His high kick. Loveridge is going to have to get back quickly. He's not quick enough, and Brian Taylor takes an easy mark.
Taylor off left half-back flank, working the ball towards half-forward. Dean's got the sit from behind, and has been paid the mark over the top of Morris. lucky, I thought.
Very lucky. His hands were soft then. He should have spoiled.
I would have thought so. They don't do that a lot here, these forwards. They try to mark, not quite so much spoiling. Dean got an enormous kick. That's 65 metres out into the square. And it looks like a Hawthorn defender. Who would it be? I think it was Whitman being held. Whitman takes his kick out to half-back. Buckenara is there all by himself.
Oh.
Goes to Green. Cop one as they went past him. Buckenara's long kick to half-forward. Dermot Brereton in front. Did well, too, to keep the ball in front of him. And will put his side even further into attack.
Dickie Touchwood is 75 metres out. It's a wobbly. It's a poor kick. Shocking kick. And a very easy mark taken by Clint Brown. Another 15 metres handed out by Peter Cameron.
He's doing it all.
As Brown going to the outer side. Is he looking for Lamb? He's found him. Buckenara making sure that he doesn't scoot off. He can give away the professional 15 there to make sure that everyone is manned up further down the ground.
Buckenara knows Subiaco's game, and Subiaco's game is run, run, run all the time.
He's got a 30-metre penalty then.
That's what he's stopping.
To the half-forward line. Whitman is in front as he try and push it down to tuck. A lightning hand pass comes out, and it's Rodney Ede, wearing 24, going into the centre. Judge was the flyer in front. Here's Big Greg Deere. Look at the pace of him. Goes to ground. Socket out the door, picked up by Ede, and Hawthorn out of trouble.
Hawthorn up towards their half-forward flank, but the mark is taken for Subi by Phil Lamb. Lamb can go high. That's Neil Taylor, the Subiaco captain, with the ball on right centre wing. He's coming inboard looking for Warren Dean, but he's outpointed by Morris. Russell Morris, good mark at half-back. Morris going, looking for Judges. Oh! No, not paid. That was Quinton Brown so high in the air, he had ice on his eyebrows. Dargy with the ball now. Gets his kick to half-forward. It's too far. Tuck goes up, Morris goes back, and takes the mark.
Tell you what, that just about bring rain, wouldn't it? Here's Morris.
Would it ever?
He tumbles a punt. Back towards centre wing. Platten in towards the middle. Can't take it. McNeish was waiting for it to come out, and it didn't, so Ede intercepted. Goes past Buckenara, who slips at the critical stage. Zanotti tries to burst his way through. Well tackled by Platten. The handball came out from O'Loughlin. He was looking towards Lamb, and eventually it is Lamb who gets the handball out. Tapped wide, back towards Taylor. Taylor goes towards the boundary line. 25 is Curran. 8 is Greg Carpenter, and the boundary line beats them both. So a throw-in to take place. Having played just over 21 minutes of this first term, and Subiaco starting to settle down now, and I think we're going to be in for a great game of football. This is Dwayne Lamb, wide again, so a throw in at the outer wing here at the Subiaco ground.
And the score at the 21.5-minute mark, Hawthorn 3-3-21, Subiaco with 2 goals. Laurie Keane in front takes clean possession of the ball, was interfered with, and umpire Mike Ball, who is officiating for Western Australia, gives him the kick.
He's just one player, John, that I know a number of VFL clubs are very interested in, particularly the Melbourne club.
Yep. Did you see the way he kicks the ball over? That one wasn't good. Again, they make a liar of you. He can really get onto a ball. It's Platten at the bottom of the pack. Try to do something with that. Stephen Sells, 14 for Subiaco, has the ball, but it'll be bounced between centre and centre-half forward.
9 points the margin.
There's the bounce. Keane over the top. Didn't quite clearly get that. Platten tried to get it away. Couldn't. This is Dean. Going with him is Morris. Warren Dean in front. Keeps the ball in play. Cleverly to Neil Taylor. Taylor to McNish. McNish runs inside 50 metres. Long shot at goal's a shocker. Out on the full.
A sign of the pressure that's on the players out there. The tempo was really fierce.
And a young boy, McNish, but we've seen him already in State of Origin football, and he looks to have an enormous future. Great to see the young players coming through. Kick back into play. A chance once again for O'Loughlin. Going across the ground. Langford will try and just soccer it clear. He does towards Dipier Domenico. Now he's got to be pinged, and he is.
Gee, that was a bit rough, wasn't it?
Well, it does have a tendency to try and barge his way through the pack. Now they've allowed the advantage rule. Play on has been the call. Here's an opportunity as the shot by Stephen Sells is goal.
A goal by Stephen Sells there to close it with just 3 points. That's Dwayne Lamb with the long hand pass to Phil Lamb. Now to Carpenter, who's on right wing. Subiaco mounting something here as they work it up towards Dean, who marks in front. Oh, it's McNish. Andrew McNish has marked and will kick almost from the 50-metre line. Could do the distance. Got a little bit close to the man on the mark. A long kick by McNish is offline. And Subiaco are 3-1-19, trailing Hawthorn 3-3-21 at the 24-minute mark first quarter.
Just in the last 5 or 6 minutes, Ken, Subiaco getting plenty of drive from across the centre line, pushing them deep into attack.
And it's giving that half-forward line a chance. Andrew McNish is becoming a dangerous player.
As we see Langford go short. Hawthorn kicking with the breeze here at the moment, so they've got a steady as well. Subi try and go into attack again through Glenn O'Loughlin, but he was pinged, still got the handball out. He's caught this time, and Peter Cameron will have no hesitation in saying, no, you are holding the ball. And so losing it is young Carl Langdon. Rodney Eade.
Wasn't he magnificent in the grand final?
Played a wonderful game. Both he and one player missing today is Conan the Barbarian, Gary Ayres. Through Brereton, Zanotti a chance. Clear, Brereton chasing. Zanotti gets his kick in time. Gets dumped, but there was nothing in it behind the players. Buckenara marks. Steadies to go in towards half forward. Brereton used his bulk. Oh, gee, Zanotti's pretty tough. That's going to be a very good duel, that one. Out wide towards the wing. Towards the boundary line. Can it be kept in play? Yes, it can by Dean. To half forward. They can play on here because this is Langdon. Onto the left foot goes Carl Langdon. In towards the forward pocket. He's going to play it. So Steve Sells, who we saw kick that quick goal only minutes ago, and he's kicked 2 for the game, has an opportunity of putting third on the board.
A goal here would give Subiaco the lead.
And superb technique by Sells. You know, every forward's instructed to play in front.
Yep, and this is what the home crowd have wanted to see. Subiaco belt Hawthorn up.
Early days yet.
It's the Sells kick, it's good. So at the 26.5-minute mark, Subiaco 25, play Hawthorn 21, and Subia into attack again from Taylor. A long kick, Bremen underneath that. It was spilt to the ground that time by defender Langford. And here comes Sells, he's got 3, in and out of strife. A right foot shot at goal across the face. Oh, one-hander! What a beauty to Laurie Keane. No, it's not. Thought it was, hasn't been paid.
He was perhaps a little unlucky having a look at it in replay. Yes. He brought the ball to ground, but nevertheless we'll see a throw in the left forward pocket. But Subiaco for this last 5 minutes have been doing all the attacking. Unable to get it clear at the bottom of the pack. And once again we'll see a bounce. Sells in the thick of things once more.
Great to see the way the forwards are prepared to lock the ball in.
We're into time on by just over 2 minutes. Pushed defensively towards the boundary line. Sells in there once again.
Ooh.
With him is Russell Morris.
Is he ever?
Oh, I can hear it from here.
Sells suggesting that maybe Morris was dealing unfairly with him when he was on the bottom of the pack.
Didn't mention JC for a while there.
Someone thought it was Sunday. Pushed back in now. That's clever football. McNish has got a chance. He can go into the square. Here's another one on the board with Todd Bremen. And Subi running hot.
That was great stuff by Subi then, Noddy. They settled down. Hawthorn hit him hard early, which was smart. And Subi able to get into their own little pattern of play, which is little jinky kicks, hand passes, and Bremen able to stop that one off.
When you think that the Hawthorn side was 3-3 and Subiaco were 1 goal, and at the moment they've kicked 3, the last 3 goals in 4 minutes of play.
Back in the middle once again. Hawthorn under pressure. Late in this first term. Buckenara tries to take it out of the middle. Could have been pushed, but play's allowed to go on as Lamb kicks it down towards the half-forward line. McNish has got it. Gets the handball clear. Oh, Dean was the target. He's got it now, but they pounce upon him. Put him to ground. Sacks on the mill. Out it comes again to Dean. Tries to keep going. Dipier Domenico can't pick it up. No one able to get goes in. There's some heavy bodywork going on at the moment. No big pardons out there. Kentucky has a look up and sees the young boy Carl Langdon. Says, look, I've played 312 games. You've played 4. Just out of my way.
It's strange to see Subiaco able to apply the physical pressure. They've been a little suspect under that sort of thing before, but they've done well. As Russo clears from the Dipier Domenico hand pass and the mark taken by Scott backward of left wing. Scott's kick not good. It'll go to the 50-metre line. Dean underneath it. Thumped away from him by Morris. Flattened the chance. Misses it. He gathered it beautifully. Platten tried to come through. This is Russo. Russo to a vacant half-forward line. Brown waits for it to come down. Has to punch it away. He would have got sunk. There's the siren to end the first quarter. A great game of football here at Subiaco Oval. Subi 10 points in front. 5-1-31 to Hawthorn 3-3-21. Quarter-time scores. Subiaco 5-1-31, Hawthorn 3-3-21. There they are. You can see the quarter-time scores. Goal scorers for Subiaco. Stephen Sells is playing extremely well for 3, 1 each to Todd Bremen and 1 to Carl Langdon, and 3 goal scorers for Hawthorn. Dunstall has 1, Dermot Brereton has 1, and Peter Curran has 1. For their comments on play, here are Sandy Roberts and Ken McCauley.
Well, a sensational start to the game, Ken, where Hawthorn began brilliantly, particularly through the agency of Jason Dunstall, who revels in these sort of conditions. But to Subiaco's credit, they've come back strongly and very strongly. This is one of the great duels, isn't it, in the first quarter, Brereton and Zanotti.
It has, and I'd say that Zanotti, after a little slow start, has got on top of Brereton. He's become a very attacking player, and but I know that Brereton will come back strongly. But what a superb duel down this other end where Stephen Sells has kicked 3 of Subiaco's 5. And I'd say that it's forced Des Maher to make a change or 2.
Well, Chris Whitman just under too much pressure there, but Sells positioning his body beautifully. And, well, he's had a great first quarter, 3 goals.
And Andrew McNish, another player that's bobbed up on that half-forward line, Sandy, who obviously has taken your eye so far in this first quarter.
Yes, wears number 18 and one of the most exciting youngsters, obviously, in the game.
Well, waiting down on the boundary line, the play just about to get underway in the second quarter. Whilst we're watching those highlights, Grant Dorrington and Tony Arger had an opportunity of listening to what the coaches were saying.
Thanks, John. A very confident Hayden Bunton, the Subiaco camp, was full of praise for his young charges. He indicated to them that he wanted to go for the ball a little bit harder. Don't be overawed by the Hawthorn machine and just keep working hard and use the ball. He was very, very pleased. And what happened in the Hawthorn camp, Tony?
Well, obviously quite the opposite. Des was very disappointed. He questioned their personal commitment and was disappointed at the centre bounce downs, which were 7-2 in Subi's favour, and asked for a lot more.
Well, thanks very much. And back to John in the commentary box.
Okay, ball on the half-forward flank for Hawthorn as they go into attack. A chance for them. Interference that time to Crutchfield, and Crutchfield to take the kick out of defence for Subi.
Crutchfield is almost down to the half-back line. 10 points the difference, favouring Subiaco at the moment. That's a lovely kick in towards the centre. Flying high was Langdon, couldn't take the mark. It was repelled back towards the half-forward line. An opportunity now for Green, but he was legged. Goes to ground. The umpire calls play on over the head of Platten. Now a chance for Di Domenico. Loves to try and shrug a tackle. Gets it back towards Platten. If it sits, he's in business. He fires in towards goal, but the kick well off target and 1 point registered.
Well, that Des Maher made sure that early goals are vital in this quarter.
Well, they are 3-4 to 5-1, and Subiaco showing the way at the moment. Big Greg Deere coming over the top of Phil Scott. No mark is taken. It's pushed wide towards the wing. Tuck will leave it for Rod Lester-Smith. Overcoming that knee injury. Gets the handball across to Deere. Deere goes with the left foot in towards full forward, and a good mark taken by Peter Curran. Curran kicked 1 in the first term.
He had an excellent final round series, didn't he, with Hawthorn?
Been a very good young player for the Hawks. He's really come of age. And always dangerous in front of goal is Peter Curran. He fires and makes no mistake with that one. So the Hawks post their 4. 4-4 to 5-1.
Peter Curran with his second goal for Hawthorn. And a quick response to Des Maher's plea to get their personal commitment level a little higher. And Hawthorn creep a bit closer, 28 to 31. It's 4-4 to 5-1. Centre bounce contested by team for Subiaco. And it looks like Deere for Hawthorn. Big fella, Tuck lurking dangerously in the centre. What a magnificent footballer he has been for many years for Hawthorn and for Victoria. An absolute ornament to the game, that man. The breeze slightly favouring the end to which Subiaco are kicking. His umpire Cameron gets proceedings underway. Deere gets the tap. Carpenter underneath that, holding the ball, the decision. It was O'Loughlin, and the kick would go to Gary Buckenara in the centre of the ground. Buckenara used to play for Subiaco, of course. A slip. Sees Dipier Domenico with the ball. Runs into the forward line. Put Platten under a lot of pressure with a hand pass. Platten high kick into the forward line. And I'd say that Zanotti has interfered with Dermot Brereton. And Brereton take the kick from absolute point-blank range.
There's more than a football duel going on between these two players, and just have a look at this. Actually, it was Clinton Brown one that...
Sorry, Mark, I did you an injustice, mate. It was Clinton Brown that did it.
Well, he was the one that had a bit of a chat to Dermot at the other end of the ground. The shot at goal is good for the Hawks. Hawthorn lead by 3 points as Neil Taylor puts his team into attack down towards half forward. Abbott almost through Schwab. It was overrun, pushed wide towards the boundary line. Langdon picks it up, but we will see the free kick going against them. And there's some couple of silly things just creeping into the game at the moment on behalf of Subiaco. And that's to steady down. Bunton, no doubt, will have the runner out as Dipier Domenico takes the mark. He's starting to assert some authority early on in his second term. That kick was wide. Will it be kept in play by Lamb? Only just. Socket off the ground, cleverly so by Brereton, but went just a fraction too wide, and once again we see Clint Brown.
He's a policeman by profession, Sandy, so
Up on an assault charge.
Is he on duty now, is he? There's the kick from Brown, dropping a bit short. Trying to get in there was Sells. Lester Smith will try and barge his way through. Gets the handball out wide to Peter Schwab. Deere does the shepherding. Schwab barges his way across the centre, up towards the right half forward flank. Brereton comes in late, pushes towards the line, and Dipier Domenico will see it over.
It's obvious, Sandy, that Hawthorn have been stung into some sort of action. There is a real sense of urgency amongst all their players.
Well, they certainly dropped their bundle a bit in the second half of that first term.
5-4 to 5-1 at the 5-minute mark of the quarter. Here comes Zanotti, the bounce. Have a look at him. He bounces as a left-hander and kicks as a right-footer. He's into the centre of the ground. He's past centre. He's still going. A long kick into the forward line. Out comes Clint. Gallon into the road of Sells. Sells towards full forward, but misses. Gee, that was quick passage of play.
Yes, and Desmar's made the move after Sells has kicked 3 in the first quarter. He's brought Rod Lester-Smith on. And what a good player Rod Lester-Smith is, and I'm sure that he's going to make it difficult for Stephen Sells.
It's just a little bit too much for Chris Whitman in that first term. There's Abbott using the body nicely to take strong mark ahead of Taylor.
And the height, I'd suggest.
Yeah, under your foot. To Rodney Eade, wearing 24 today. Looking for Brereton. He's under plenty of attention. And this time has given away the free kick. His good mate Clint Brown. Brown's kick in towards the centre. Lester Smith comes over the top, thumps it down to Buckenara, back to Eade on centre wing, steadies with the left foot in towards half forward, judges the target. Oh, taps it cleverly over the back. Now Dipier Domenico and Ian Dargy. Who's going to be first? They're too good. Crutchfield. Can he get clear? Caught. Beautiful tackle. Yeah. And Jason Dunstall showing his agility and speed. Gets it across to Russell Green. Onto the left foot goes Russell Green. Didn't like that. Zanotti pushing the ball along in front. Gets clear of Brereton. Shrugs off another one. Puts the handball out wide, and Subiaco look good as they go into the half-forward line once again.
Where the ball is running free. It's eluded all players. A chance to see if they're quick enough. Hawthorn clear the ball out of defence from the boot of Abbott. It's bounced kindly for Neil Taylor. Taylor will put it back with a little jinky tip, and the mark taken by Laurie Keane. Now, for a big bloke, he can kick this distance.
It's great to see Subiaco not being put off balance, Sandy, on the pressure that's been applied by Hawthorn.
There's the kick. It's a drop punt.
Not a good one. And Lester Smith takes the mark in the last line of defence, left full-back pocket.
And certainly going to give Hawthorn marking power there. It's just that whether or not he's quick enough on the ground.
See how that knee stands up as Lester Smith brings it out of the left full-back pocket. Dermot Brereton flies and marks.
Long way from centre-half forward.
Not wrong. Crowd hate him. He loves it. There's the Brereton kick to Loveridge. Loveridge in turn to Buckenara, who gets in and out of strife. Great attempt at mark by Judd. He weaves around, goes onto the left foot, brilliantly passes the ball where the mark is taken by Peter Curran. Curran just outside 50 metres, a long kick into attack for Hawthorn.
Yes, in fact, he'll try and centre the ball because Russell Green is loose there. Gives it across to Greg Deere. Now, he needs a runner. Finds one Steadies, but the punch kick comes off the side of the boot. Beautiful pass, and he's found Jason Dunstan. We'll give him the benefit of the doubt.
He's released a player that took 3 marks in the opening 6 minutes of play, and really in the second half of that first quarter, the ball never got down there, Sandy.
He's kicked 1 goal, 1. Dunstall heads for home and makes no mistake. 32 plays 40 as we go back for the centre bounce once again. Taylor tries to get it clear. He does so with a hurry kick towards half. Waiting down was Sells. A chance for him to go forward now. Swings back onto the left foot. Where's the big fella down in there? He's got him in curve.
I don't know whether he actually touched the ball first on that occasion. It'd be good to see it on replay.
There it is. Line ball, I think. The umpire could have seen the fact that Chris Langford may have hand to that.
Laurie Keane, a chance to peg back this deficit.
I need this.
Goes with a drop punt. Goal umpire does not move. Keane kicks his at first, and Subiaco first for the turn. They're 6th for the game.
That was a crucial goal, and here it is on action replay. Stephen Sells, instrumental in another goal for Subiaco, kicked 3 himself, and Laurie Keane perfectly positioned. As has been said before, he's got to reach on him like a sick dog with that long arms of his.
That's a new one.
Nice little simile there. 40 plays 38. Hawthorn just in front. 10 minutes into the quarter. A chance for Dargy as he gets through traffic. For Dwayne Land, who's taken high but plays on. Kick to the 50-metre line. Back goes Morris and marks strongly in defence. With Russell Morris swinging out wide, looking for Green. He gets there first. He's got plenty of backup from Loveridge. Ignores him and goes to Schwab. Schwab goes back to Green. It was good play by Hawthorn. It was meant for Russo, and he marked right in the centre of the ground.
They're taking some risks, Hawthorn, which is something they didn't do in the second half of the first quarter.
The mark taken by Lamb for Subiaco from that Russo kick. He goes out wide. Carpenter, who just gets it on the fingertips. Carpenter swings it around into half forward. Here comes Sells and Lester Smith. Sells in front. Lester Smith a little slow on the ground. Sells uses the right foot. Keane, dropped what he should have held on to. Here's Dean. Breaks the tackle. Dean to Scott. Scott to Keane. It's too far for him. Kicks with the right foot and just misses.
On reflection, it would have been better if Stephen Sells had taken that ball. But Laurie Keane is a very agile big man, and he's playing with a lot of confidence.
30 plays 40 as Langford goes to the outer side of the ground. They try and use this running ploy as Buckenara will tap it on towards Dipier Domenico. Now he's caught again.
Had to be holding the ball, or they may have been over the line.
Could have been over the line. Have to see from where we are because we're on the opposite side of the ground. But
Tackle laid by Dargy.
Dargy.
Dargy is as strong as an ox, and I reckon that's the reason he's playing on him.
There he is again. This time in towards the centre of the ground. Taylor here. Subiaco go down towards half forward. Lester Smith falls at the critical stage, but he's got good backup support in the form of Russell Morris. Usually wears 15. Today it's 32. Rocket Eade. Oh, that's a good mark.
Great eyes on the ball job, that.
Did not deviate one bit. Ken McCauley said didn't take his eyes off the ball. Eade from half back. Karen Schwab dropped it. Dermot Brereton sockers it off the ground, but it'll beat the players over the line. And a throw in to take place just into Hawthorn's attacking zone.
You couldn't wish for a closer game, could you? 1 point separating the two sides. Hawthorn 40, Subiaco 39.
Great stuff as Keane was being held, but got the hand pass away. McNish run over the top, and will tell Lambert is, and will take the kick. This is Phil Lamb off the right half-back flank, going to the centre, looking for Langdon. Flies from behind Dipier Domenico. Great back up by Schwab. Schwab with the hand pass to Curran. Curran inside 50 metres. O'Loughlin closing. He's been caught. O'Loughlin underneath that. Struggling for the ball. Emerges. Cameron says enough is enough. I'll have a bounce.
And the crowd salute Glenn O'Loughlin. A magnificent solo effort.
It's 40-39. Hawthorn in front. 13 and a half minutes in. Keane interfered with Brereton. And Brereton to take the kick.
And could just about get from here, John.
Yeah.
He gets onto it.
Well, he's going to be kicking from about 45, 46 metres out.
Second player for Subiaco that's manhandled Brereton and could cost another goal.
He's already kicked
Brown
2.
earlier in this quarter.
Hawthorn a point in front. Brereton from 45 metres out. High kick is a mark. No, forced through for one behind. So now 2 points to Hawthorn. 6:42 or 6:5:41 to 6:3:39.
14, just over 14 minutes of play gone, and they're continuing, Ken, to kick out with the short business. What do you think of it?
Unbelievable, really. They've got a lead out into the spaces, the half-back flankers and centre half-back, and kick along.
Into the centre, Lamb. Play is clear, runs his full distance, puts out the pass. It's good, and the mark's taken by big Phil Scott.
Phil Scott, Sandy, started off his league career as a full forward, and he's become one of West Australia's best ruckmen.
Well, he's going from almost the 50-metre line, and this is a chance to give Subiaco the lead. They trail at the moment by 2 points. Scott with a drop punt, won't make the distance. Will drift it into the square. Where are the Flyers? There's only one, and it's Lester Smith.
Brilliant mark to Lester Smith, that.
Poor play by the Subiaco. They only left it to one player there, Carl Langdon, and he was surrounded by 4 Hawthorn players.
On the last line of defence, he comes towards the half-back flank. Scott it is, who taps it down again. He's got the handball out. It goes to Georgiadis. Dodges, twists, kicks for goal! And puts it...
3:45 Subiaco, 6:5:41 Hawthorn. Keane gets the knock. Russo tries to put it forward. The big fella Deere does. Up towards the 50-metre line. Chance for Hawthorn. Out comes the defence, led by Crutchfield for Subiaco. Now it's back into the centre of the ground. Coming through Georgiades. Gave it to the wrong man in Deere. He can go by hand, which he does to Michael Tuck. Tuck with the left foot to the 50-metre line. Bit of jostling. Brown brings it to the ground. Carpenter threads his way through. Tries to get the hand pass away up. He went to ground. A lot of messing around going on at the moment. As Platten gets his man out of the road, gets boot the ball quickly. Now a chance for Loveridge. He's lost possession of the ball. Zanotti's lost it. Dippy air, Domenico barges through. Does it well to shovel it back to a couple of Hawthorn players. It looked like Loveridge with the ball. Platten over the top, but he interfered with Carpenter, and Carpenter will clear for Sudi.
Greg Carpenter from half. Going back in towards the centre. It actually hit Russell Green, that ball in the face. Throw it out, and eventually sock it off the ground by Peter Curran, who's kicked 2 goals so far in this game for a throw-in at the 45-metre mark. But Hawthorn at the moment, Ken, appear to have lost the directness in their game, and they are under pressure.
They are, and a tribute to Subiaco.
Yep. Keane, tap down, Judge, onto the left foot. He's very clever at hooking them back. A one-out duel. Dunstall this time playing from behind. And a better man.
The first time that Michael Crutchfield actually won a marking duel.
Crutchfield. Deere. Keane. Supporting Dwayne Lamb. Lamb into the centre, but Tuck is there. Called out. The stuff down to George Harris. He's clear. Can spin up towards Taylor. Taylor thought about running on. Now goes back. In towards full forward. The ball comes to ground. Gabbard is there. He almost throws it out to Lester Smith. Lester Smith across the length, and Tuck does the shepherding work, and they're out of strife again. But McNish could stop it. Goes up in front of the... Can't take the mark. Close to the boundary line. Could be kept in by Ian Dargy. And the umpire said, well, he'll get a free kick anyway because the tackle was too high. Could have gone back to McNish, but no. There's some loose checking here. He's gone short, and Georgiadis is there. He's already into the square. Abbott drops what he should have taken. He's picked it up. He goes onto the left foot, hooks it over, but it just bounces through for one goal.
Good to see the Lester Smith saw what was going on and realised they needed numbers back in the goal square and just dropped back to the goal line. And umpire Cameron having a blow of the whistle again.
The goal umpire hadn't put his flags down.
Oh, okay. That'll do. Whatever.
And one of his buttons done up.
Like your style. There's the kick in. It's like Morris down there off the half-back flank, taking the kick into the centre of the ground. Carpenter went up, mark, recovers, scrambles it to half forward. Shoveled out by Taylor. Taylor, now Carpenter back in it. Carpenter from 35 metres out. Kick was okay. 8th goal in the Subiaco.
From the centre bounce, it's Russo who puts Hawthorn into attack, but Zanotti's beating Brereton at the moment. In fact, he takes the luxury of a bounce. Good shepherding sees him clear as he goes up towards the half-forward flank. Oh, the bouncing ball is favouring Subi. Trevor in towards half-forward. He's going to go short. Sells as a target. Sells he high. Now he's 50 metres out. He's going for a pass in towards the 25-metre line, and the mark's been taken by McNish.
That was good play.
They rattled Hawthorn down here.
Are they moving the ball around and sharing it so well? But really, we've got two sides that play a similar style of football.
Well, this is a chance to make the margin 17 points. And looks as though Georgiadis is leaving the ground, but we'll watch the kick of McNish because it's through, and Subi are drawing away.
Second goal, and Willett coming on as an interchange for Subi.
And John, Subiaco's ability, they've kicked the last 4 goals of this match. They've kicked 4 in the last 10 minutes of play, and really top football, and Hayden Button would be wrapped with the way they're going.
5:41, the 21-minute mark of the second quarter. It will be Deere versus Keane at the second bounce. Deere, a clear winner, but Taylor behind the pack puts Subi into attack again. Lester brilliantly over the top for himself. Lester Smith with body in front, but this is Georgiades on the left foot. Ha! He saw a yellow jumper and kicked, but realised at the wrong moment it was Michael Tuck. Tuck going into the centre of the ground, looking for and finding Greg Deere. He'll come onto his left foot. No, goes by hand. That was 43 Jenke who's on the ground. Kick into the forward line, not particularly good. Brereton tried to knock it on, gets a second go at it. This is Buckenara to Russo. Russo's kick smothered. Back he goes. They bottle. Oh, that's a bit rough. Russo holding the ball. Don't know what you thought of that one, Sandy, but I reckon he was a bit hard done by then.
Obviously thought that he had an opportunity of getting rid of it, and the way Hawthorn are playing at the moment, they're in trouble. They're making changes as Sparks goes wide out towards Carpenter, who kicked the goal early on in this term. He's looking for Lamb. Will he get there in time? No, he won't. So a throw in to take place on that outer side.
The Subiaco Oval, Sandy, how much bigger would it be than the grounds Hawthorn are used to playing on?
Oh, well, the Hawks are used to playing on some pretty big grounds.
Okay.
I was looking down actually then, John, at Smith, and that knee worries me a little bit. I just hope that he is going to be okay. But nevertheless, Subi go into attack again through Phil Lamb down to half forward. Waiting down was Morris. He pushes it clear. Langford will be the recipient. Gives it now. Here's Lester Smith. How is that knee? Well, he's clear on that occasion, but he didn't have to really twist or turn. He finds Schwab on the half-back flank.
The Hawthorn defence certainly is under a lot more pressure, Sandy, than last week.
Oh, gee, they're under pressure at the moment.
This is great to see and to give Melbourne viewers, Sandy, a chance to see a Western Australian side in action, given the fact that the VFL wisely have decided to include a composite WA team in your comp next year to make it a national situation.
Yes, but with the margin, John, 17 points at the moment, admit it, you are loving it.
Oh, mate, I got a smile wide on my face. I'll give you the tip.
There's Brereton now. He's got a lift. And all of Hawthorn has to.
And he's coming a long way down. He's at centre-half back.
Doing a lot of roaming to pick up his kicks. 3 up, no mark taken over the line once again. So we've played just on the 23.5 minutes of the second term. The quarter at the moment that has belonged to Subiaco after Hawthorn threatened early.
King got the tap down, but it went straight to Brereton, who just held a hand pass back. Now to Russo. Russo long to right half forward. Big pack in the air. The mark, I think, has been paid to Buckenara.
And this is the first time that Bucky's actually been across that half-forward line, and don't Hawthorn need someone like him?
Buckenara rifles it in short. The kick wasn't good. They've got another chance through the left foot kick. Brereton getting underneath it, knocked away from him. Out it comes to Zanotti. Zanotti by hand to Carpenter. Carpenter similarly to Taylor. And this is Subiaco at their best, the way they run the ball out. Oh, and a slip at the crucial moment by McNish. Hawthorn able to clear to Morris. Morris to Russo. Russo in turn further afield. A good put on Jenke and holding the ball as Lang kicks at the half forward. Didn't look. Lester Smith. He chips it. Dermot Brereton. Oh! diving, high as a kite. Lamb now to half forward. In front, Georgiades. Georgiades to Keane. Keane from 55 metres out. No, there's Georgiades. He was good. This was the player before. Goal.
64 plays 41. Centre bounce once again. It's Taylor who tries to get a kick to Subiaco to send them in motion. They've been doing all the attacking in the past 10 minutes. Hawthorn, on the other hand, have only 3 players who've kicked almost a football.
5 goals for the quarter to Subiaco, 3 to Hawthorn, and I think Hawthorn had the first 3 of the quarter, Sandy.
That is quite right. Yes, John. There's trouble as Scott goes up, wins the tap, but can they take it out of the middle? They have been doing so with great regularity so far this quarter. It goes high, tap down towards Platten. Platten looks up towards the half-forward line. Brereton and Zanotti once again. They both spoil each other. A chance for Dwayne Lamb to get Subiaco with a high ball up towards centre wing. A good mark taken by Stephen Self. He's just about one of the players of the day at the moment, playing beautifully as he finds his teammate in Brian Taylor. Taylor's right in the centre of the ground. He plays on, perhaps foolishly because it took away a little bit of the directness, but it doesn't matter. McNish is there. Wobbles one up towards half forward. Here's Georgiades again. He was caught that time and pinged for holding them.
Well, Sandy, you'd have to expect Hawthorn to come back at this stage of the game. They failed to in the first quarter, and 26 and a half minutes into this second quarter.
Well, you have a look round and there are a lot of players very down at the moment. Morris goes with a long kick to the half-forward line. Bundled out was Buckenara. Russell Green applies the tackle, and the umpire said no, it was too high, and it must to Sparks. Kevin Sparks.
Sparks to take the kick off the half-back line. Going out wide, looking towards O'Loughlin, who he's got. He's got Carpenter a little further on, but that was good play by Platten because he realised that as well, and he stopped that run. O'Loughlin now comes looking for Langdon.
He has confidence to take a chest
He's
mark.
a very, very confident young man. You talk to him, and he reckons he's a veteran. As Scott puts it long, Keane getting underneath it, and Mark. Oh, Laurie Keane has to test about 3 or 4 then. Big fella ground. Took a good mark.
Well, that's the advantage of moving the ball on. Subiaco's method at the moment is play on madly all the time and get the Hawthorn defence out. And when you've got a fella as tall as Laurie Keane in the goal there, you can afford to kick the ball high.
Well, Keane has got 1 goal. There's his kick. He now has 2, and Subiaco has their 11.
Well, as you'd expect in WA anyway, the Subiaco and West Australian supporters are absolutely loving it. In this quarter of football, Hawthorn aimed up with 3 goals in the opening 8 minutes of play, and since then, Subiaco have kicked the next 6. So a superb lead going into half-time, almost 11 for Subi, Hawthorn 6-5. Can you believe it, Sandy?
25 points the margin, and it's been a while since Hawthorn trailed a number of points stage of the game.
Big celebrations after the grand final.
Not over yet. Centre bounce. Morris through with a high kick to the half-forward.
What a great duel, Sandy, hasn't he?
He's had the better of him, though, Zanotti.
Yeah, but it's magnificent, and this is the sort of stuff that people come to watch,
That's
really.
exactly right. Yes, it puts the time on the seats as Peter almost completed that mark. Not quite. Langdon tries to burst his way through, gets support through Carpenter, but he loses out eventually to Russo, who puts it outside, and the mark will be paid to Russell Green. Green is just on the side of centre, and it would be the understatement of the year to say that Hawthorn needed goals and needed them. Russo into the forward line, forced onto the left. He goes long. Brereton will fly, Zanotti will spoil. And a good spoil as he thumps it down. Taylor will pick it up. He's got players running. This is O'Loughlin, and they're out of trouble once again. The long kick was by Kevin Sparks down towards the centre wing, and Subiaco are just looking far too good at the moment. From down towards the half-forward line. Lester Smith tries to push it wide to Langford. Langford is clear. Gets a short kick. They're all under so much pressure. Green goes to ground. Comes out with a handball to Tuck. He's been quiet. A high kick in towards the half-forward line. Brereton again. Oh, look at that. Straight to Johnny Platten. The kick is a poor one. It came from Lamb. Carpenter is there under pressure. Loses it. Opportunity now for Crutchfield. Dunstall is with with him. Dunstall has it. He's clear, or is he? Yes, he is. He's got Barrett in the square. He gets a bad bounce. Steadies. Another one, and at last, Jenky finishes it off. But by gee, they had to work hard.
It was great play, though. That was the Hawthorn that we know well. They get in the line and just run that ball down towards their forward line.
It was a real team goal, and when you consider it's their first goal since the 8-minute mark of this second quarter, but just have a look at it. Dirk waited for it to bounce, almost was too awkward, but he had a teammate backing him up to share the ball. So really needed goal for Hawthorn. The first one they've kicked in time on so far in this game.
Okay, we're 30 and quarter minutes in the second quarter. There's the score. He plays 47 as Deere gets the knock. Here goes Subiaco again as the hand pass comes out to Taylor. Taylor puts it in short, looking for Sells, finds it.
Neil has been a very damaging player.
Both of those players.
Sells just forward of right wing. He go long and high looking for Keane. Comes the big fella. Can't mark. Good punch away by Abbott. It's running at 3. Sells comes to it. Swing on siren. A great first half of football, but particularly by Subiaco. Half-time sees the home side 11-4-70, 7-5-47. Subiaco goals 470, leading Hawthorn 7-5-47. Both sides and umpires are out on the game, on the ground I should say. The game is far away. We'll be back right after this break.
In the third quarter, Hawthorn have made a number of changes. Whitman, Judge and Abbott are all on the interchange. No, Georgiades is quick to apply the tackle. Scott puts body over the ball. Comes out for umpire Peter Cameron. My fellow co-commentators here in Western Australia have dubbed it Oscar Cameron. I think we'll call him from now on. Shrunk to take back the award. It's bounce. Getting a quick was Glenn O'Loughlin down to the half-forward line, having his hand left to Smith, pushed it wide, but it's going to give Carpenter a chance again towards half-forward, over the head, Tyler it goes. Out comes Lang, pushing the ball along and eventually scoring it. Goes to Richard Lovell, but quiet. All Subiaco in the centre. It'll be Lamb with a high kick up towards the half-forward line. Tuck comes over the back to affect the spoil. Scott has a chance. No, he gets claimed by Deere, and he'll be pinged. And the advantage is paid as Russell possession. Buckenara in the back. He dropped what he should have taken. They're under so much pressure and he's got no support. Subiaco, on the other hand, are running with each other. They're talking and looking for the better side. The margin of 10 points was opened up to a 23 margin time. Still, that has not been closed.
Then Melbourne is a bit confused where the goals are when they see Subi, because they're not afraid to go backwards or sideways or anyway.
And perhaps too for those people that may have just because of the similarity in the jumpers. Hawthorn are wearing their training jumpers. This is Chopper Hand. He's come onto the ground since half-time. Changes. Yeah, so the Hawks wearing their training jumpers. As Zanotti comes over the top, it's Curran who pushes it wide. Evans Bucks will be there once again to head towards the boundary line. Taking his eye off the critical stage, and it's let Hawthorn in. Now, where's Dunstall? Oh, he's got... He held it long enough.
He did think he held that long enough to be awarded the mark.
Another great duel on this ground. Dunstall's player that opened up in sensational form. 3 marks in the opening 6 minutes of play.
Let's see what he can do. They want this one bad. As Dean leaves the ground, comes onto the ground, and the Hawks score a much-needed goal.
Yes, Bob Jason Dunstall, that's his first for the game, and has opened up absolutely superbly at full forward. Took the first 3 marks of the match and really looked set for a superb game. Then as Subi got up across the centre, he was starved of opportunities. But Hawthorn fight 5-53. Subiaco 11-4-70. We're just 3 minutes into the third quarter. It'll be Scott and Deere to contest.
Oscar. Who's Oscar?
Doesn't like any competition.
He's got this man.
The leading role.
Neil, captain of Subiaco, being by Oscar Cameron to get out. You'll start something here, you bloke. As Scott goes high, Loveridge had the opportunity. Taylor on the bottom of the pack. Give you a kick. There's the hand pass away to Brian Taylor. Neil to Brian, brothers. Kick out wide. Dean runs onto it, hotly pursued by Dean gets his kick up towards the 50-metre line. It rolls towards the boundary line and is out.
Well, each of these quarter sets, it's been Hawthorn that have got the early goals and Subiaco strong. That is the Hawthorn bench.
Looking a little worried at the moment, I guess as well they might. There's Ma, the coach, and holding the ball decision against Andrew McNish. Sees the kick away from Hawthorn captain Michael Tuck.
Tuck goes over the half-back line, but there's an example of kicking Phil Lamb. The Subiaco vice captain takes an uncontested mark. We'll go in towards half-forward once again. Again, it was Tuck who affected the spoil. Through the legs of Phil Scott. Can he make up ground? He can't. Russo's hand pass is poor. Dwayne Lamb is there. Hurriedly boot the ball. In towards full forward. One hand tap back. Keane tried to get a kick, but was not effective. They've still got the players around the ball. This is Neil Taylor, but he's off marker.
Confusion not in that line at the moment.
There is, and there's tons of pressure that's on the players, and it's showing. Seeing them double handling the ball.
Jenke loose on the 50-metre line. Now they could start a run here. They've got an opportunity for Russell Morris. If the ball sits, he's in business. Goes over the top of Clint Brown. The kick goes towards Buckenham. Lovely diving mark. He's probably 40 metres out from when he kicks and on a 45-degree angle.
He's the player that Hawthorn need to join their goal-kicking list. Sandy, he's reserved some of his finest performances for Subiaco Oval in the black and gold Guernsey.
He's aiming for his first here. A drop punt on its way, and he drifts it right across the face of goal and out the bounds on the full of the ironical cheers. Go up.
Sandy, they'd be able to distinct this at Hawthorn, really, wouldn't it, with the fact that they only
This
1 week
right I know at the moment.
have won the grand final.
Oh, yeah, look, let's not make excuses, but they had their day last week. Last Saturday was their 1 September, whereas Subiaco have had a fortnight to get over it, but no excuses. Play goes on. Green was tackled high. Paid. Eade under pressure across to Hanley. Hanley with a foot kick in towards the pocket. Dunstall, it's going to be down the ground. Well, John has nicknamed him Oscar. He's just thrown his headphones down in disgust. He cannot believe what's been going here this afternoon.
There it is. I hope that sticks. Anyway, Jason Dunstall's got it. That's a lovely pass. No problem about that at all. And Russo just drifting into the open space, improved the angle quite dramatically. They share the ball round this Hawthorn side. And Sandy said, I don't have a specific goal for whoever happens to be there. 25 metres out for Russo, no mistake. First 2 goals of the quarter to Hawthorn, and they're coming back strong.
Welcome back as Robert Hanley applies a beautiful tackle. Russell Green doesn't know what to do. Eventually goes for the hand pass to under pressure. Green, he's got to look for Dunstall. Out he comes. He'll pick it up on the half volley. Running is Jenke. Now he can steady on the left foot. Shoot towards goal with a drop punt. Target again, I fear. Behind, but they're starting to do all the attacking in the third.
As Hawthorn has started every quarter in the game, they've been doing all the attacking, and it remains to be seen whether Subiaco can steady. 71 plays, 60. The kicking has been marked by O'Loughlin. O'Loughlin with the ball. Quick hand pass to Mick Lee, who's on having a run. Breaks a couple of tackles, advances to the defensive 50-metre line, long to the wing. No mark. Beautifully picked up that time by, looks like Lester Smith it was. Lester Smith got the hand pass away. This is now Platten. Platten has gone over the top to Eade. Eade a long kick, the full forward. Looks good. Missed. Well, as you said, doing all the attacking, but not finding as many of the big openings as they would like. Short kick into play. Not a good one. Dangerous. Dargy in trouble. Comes Hawthorn again. 25 is Curran. A magnificent kick from Curran. A beauty. And through it goes. And Curran says, let's go. He's on the board.
And a direct result, John, from short kick-outs again. It's unbelievable that Subiaco, Mike Crutchfield, assisted in this and wasn't even a good short kick, as you can see there. And Curran A magnificent shot for goal, under pressure, spits the middle.
And so the Hawks continue to close the gap. 67 plays 21. Centre bounce once again. Scott up against Deere. There, Russo trying to take it out of the middle. Can't do so. The handball came from Brian Taylor. Now Subiaco want a steadying goal, and they've got the opportunity here. Having a shot will be Todd Bremen. Or is it Willett? I think it might be Willett.
He's come up the ground since half-time.
Rod Willett.
That's his normal position, Sandy, a defender.
Centre-half. Well, this could go anywhere. Kick on its way, which he pulls, and 1 point. You read it right. The defender's kick. Rod Willett, 72, plays 67. Waiting for the kick in. Out on the far side of the ground, the lead is on over there for Langford. Free kick. And Langford will get a kick. And deserves so. Crowd didn't like it, but it was... Yeah, a bit of a bump in the ear from Willett. Yeah, Gander. Good looking right cross is the ball with ears on it. It goes long towards the forward line. Brereton over the top. And the kick, Wilkinson. To Wilkinson, who's come on for Subiaco. So Wilkinson at half-back just goes short. And Subi are able to run the ball through Lamb towards their half-forward line. Tapped over the back. The only person waiting there is Lester Smith. Gets a short kick towards Russo. Can't pick it up on a half volley. Eventually, Jenke over the top to Platten. They've got them running now. To Russo again. Oh, he's twisting and turning, dodging and weaving. Onto the left foot he goes, and the mark at half by Peter Curran. He's not even down to half forward. He plays on to Jenke. Jenke scoops it wide. They've got themselves into awful bother once again. It'll be Lamb towards the right half forward flank, where once again Rod Lester Smith still proppy on that knee to take the kick. Underneath a drop punt and just drifted into the centre. Russell Green to stand his ground there, real rainmakers. Peter Schwab goes longer towards half forward, pushed into the ball, can't complete the mark, comes to Zanetti, gets at the back door. An opportunity for Russo again. This time he goes wider into Dunstall. 2 grabs, it's not completed. Play on is the call. Bottled up there by Ian Dargy, and Peter Cameron comes in for a bounce. 5 points the difference at the moment. There's Deere over the top down to Platten. Platten a high long. Zanotti and Brereton are one out. Brereton almost coming through his Crutchfield. He'll be under pressure though from Jason Dunstall. Went towards the boundary line. And Peter Cameron has said, you kicked that out deliberately, son. And it looked to me as if he did. And so Jason Dunstall to take the kick from deep in the left full forward pocket. Yes, it was two. Yep. 25 metres line, he's standing. He would not be able to see daylight between the goals from there. But a chance for Hawthorn to hit the front. Nature. He'll run round. Plays on. There's the shot coming round. Oh no. But too far. Out on the ball. So the kick into play becomes taken by Zanotti. So Zanotti to bring Subiaco into play. Served me, mate. Somebody agrees with me. Your bloke Oscar. Curran couldn't take it. Phil Scott is there for Subiaco. Gets it out, but straight to Loveridge. Loveridge down towards it over the back of Makanara. Here's danger as he hooks it across the face of goal. Dunstall is there. Gets a touch. Goes over the line in the forward pocket. A magnificent duel between Dunstall and Phil. Crutchfield hasn't. He's worn him like a second skin, but Dunstall proves the master at the moment. Comes over the top. Brereton gets ripped to the ground. Play on as the call as Glenn O'Loughlin gets a hurry kick out towards the half-back flank. One Lamb is there. Plays on to McNish. McNish steadies as he goes towards the wing. Going to be close and over the line. Unable to get there in the time was Lamb. So another throw in. On the full it was. So drifted into play and we find the mark taken by Jenke. Jenke's kick. Dunstall buffed out. Curran, a chance. He needs support. He's got it. Short towards Platten. Takes the mark 50 metres out. Far too far for Johnny Platten to score. But he will go down to Buckanara. And also drifting in is Curran.
Just having a look around, I don't think I can see Bernie hit the air to me on the ground.
You're quite right, he is not on the ground. Ian Darkey has done his job well. I don't know whether Diffie was injured or a recurring injury, but he did not come on the ground, John, after half-time.
Mick Lee with the ball in the centre of the ground. The hand pass. This is the sort of play Subiaco like. As McNish advances to the 50-metre line, he's inside. Gets the hand pass to Langdon. He'll have to hurry. He's pushed up the kick. And great defensive play by Hawthorn. See them out of trouble. Big up towards the wing. And Deere has not seen the mark, has he? No. Comes round onto the left foot. Kicks into the centre of the ground. It should be Subiaco. The hand pass was not good. But Taylor, equal to the pass, will go right across the ground, which Subiaco do often. And Lamb, who's up off the half-back flank, gives it to him.
Well,
Short pass to McNish. From 55 metres out, kicks long. Langdon has passed everyone. The opportunity for Langford to clear for Hawthorn, and they're playing with a great deal more poise and aplomb than they were in the first half.
Down towards centre wing, who's at the drop of the ball? It was Mick Lee. An advantage paid there because they had possession through Greg Wilkinson, and Michael Byrne is on the ground now for Hawthorn. He was number 21. Coming over the top to affect the spoil. Now a chance for Brian Taylor. Taylor whips the hand towards Lamb. Steadies in towards full forward. Only to see the mark taken by Rod Lester-Smith, who, but despite that knee, has certainly tried his heart out. Richard Loveridge chasing now.
Well, top in this quarter.
All slip the critical side. In goes the big fella in Laurie Keane. He's booted a couple of goals. Gets boot to ball. Down towards the half-forward line. The bouncing ball is going to favour Todd Bremen. For Hanley, intercepts for Hawthorn. A high kick back in the middle, but there's no one home, and Mick Lee is there to take the mark.
Well, should get a 15-metre penalty, thanks very much, but doesn't.
As plays on.
Hand pass comes out to Brian Taylor. Taylor long to the 50-metre line. Scott takes the drag. Quite a bit of attention from Michael Byrne.
John, in this quarter, 16 and a half minutes old, and they haven't scored a goal.
It's 67 plays, 70 to 11-6 to 10-7. And Scott with a chance to just extend that lead a little bit. He'll kick from 55 metres out. No breeze to worry about. As a Scott torpedo punt kick has absolutely been marked on the line. From here, we were right behind it. It looked like it was 100 feet in the air, but gravity took over and was forced through for 1 point.
So, one straight kick the difference. The old saying, never anticipate.
Yeah, dead right. Well, you think it's turn after all these years, wouldn't you?
17 and a half minutes played. 6 points the difference. Mark by Russell Morris at half-back as he plays on to Russo. Back once again. That was Mick Byrne who's come onto the ground. Finding Johnny Platten. Platten's clear on the half-forward. He hooks it back. Now Brereton is there. Dunstall in front. One grab. Got in front and took a strong mark. And we'll give it a nudge. Now he's going to go short. That's loose checking because Russo had drifted down into that pocket area and will now shoot from just 25 or 30 metres out on a 45-degree angle.
But obvious Sandy will tie it up, and an obvious break in concentration by those Subiaco defenders.
See what he does. A drop punt. Looks pretty good. He's goaled and scores 11.
Well, we are set up for a magnificent last quarter of football here as it's 11-7, 73 apiece. Hawthorn kicked the last 4 goals of this quarter. In fact, the only 4 goals. And Subiaco added 12 points. And we are at the 19-minute mark of the third quarter. As Deere at the top got it. Russo knocked it. 29 is Wilkinson for Subiaco. He's got Taylor loose. And Taylor bravely waited for the ball to bounce to him, which it did. Kick back, goes in short and finds McNish. McNish coming around, but Hawthorn exerting a lot more pressure than they were before, and they've woken up the Subiaco's running game as Taylor has got it inside 50 metres, goes long, but great diving mark has been taken by Willis.
Early a chance for goal. This player that plays off a half-back flank normally, he's been thrown into the forward line, and this is a crucial goal for Subiaco. They must
Who will kick from about 30 metres out, almost directly in front. Here's the Willett kick. Umpire ignores it. It's through. Subia ahead by a goal.
Willett kicks his first, and the Subiaco's first for the term, but what a good time. Almost 20 minutes gone, and the Subiaco lead by 6 points.
And Sandy Hawthorn certainly quietened down Stephen Sells, who was the real danger man. And Rod Lester-Smith's the player that's got to take the credit for that.
Just been told that Robert Dipierre Domenico's ankle is sore, and that's why he's off the ground.
Well, that's a recurring injury from the grand final. As Subiaco go into attack through Laurie Keane again to the half-forward line. No one able to get it clear. The umpire calls play on as Tuck picks it up. Turns one way, then the next. Looks back. He's got Schwab clear on the half-back flank and uses him. He'll look up towards Jenke if he can move back space. He'll have to be quick. He might get caught. Taylor applies the pressure. Gets the kick, however. It goes over the top. Subiaco have been very, very strong as Lee comes bursting through. Gets it across to Lamb. Lamb, can he get clear? Yes, he can. Puts the handball out in front. Here's an opportunity for Todd Bremen. From the 9-metre line, kicks Bremen. It's a long kick, but he's off target. 1 point.
Sandy, the chance to have a look at this guy kick. He's a Sheffield Shield cricketer, but he can kick a football as long as I've ever seen anyone do it. Got it, and unerringly normally.
But 1 goal to credit at the moment. Subiaco lead by 7 points. Langford comes over the top to take a fine mark. Plays on quickly, gets the hand pass across to Eads. A naughty thrown out by Dermot Brereton, but play on is the call. Solid bump, but a fair bump. Peter Cameron's call play on. It was on Kevin Sparks. Brereton is behind play. Buckenara has taken the mark. Things perhaps are starting to warm up as Russell Green gives it back to Buckenara. He'll go into an open goal. No unselfish play as he goes to the 25-metre line. I think Brereton's in trouble behind play.
Yes, he is.
In the meantime, the mark has been taken by Peter Curran, who's kicked 3 goals. Dermot, but let's watch Curran. He fires with a drop punt. They've just snuck it in.
There it is, 1 point in it at the moment, and that's at the 22.5-minute mark of the third quarter. Keane and Deere with the tap. Nobody could come through, although Schwab just moved the ball. Subiaco defends under pressure once more. Russell Green is lurking, gets it to Buckenara. Buckenara's kick is going to be just offline. Could have just got a free. I would have thought so. And Buckenara appealing for it to the umpire.
It wasn't right an umpire, it was.
Yeah. Well, not Oscar. Good to see. It's all level here at the 23-minute mark as Lamb takes it off the half-back flank and looks. That was Phil to Dwayne. Lamb comes in on his left foot into half-forward. Dargie's loose and takes the mark. Ian Dargie between centre and centre-half forward. It's all tied up. Not far off timing as Dargie goes long. Tries to mark from behind, can't, and years of experience from Michael Tuck went into that punch through for a behind.
What happens if it's a tie?
They come back next week.
Well, 1 point the margin at the moment. Yes, I don't. 20,000 to the winner and 5,000 to the loser. So it'll make a ball triple. And if you're a victor as Loveridge gets clear, kicks down towards centre wing. Curran is beaten on this occasion by Michael Crutchfield. His kick, however, is wide. Very wide. McNeish. Well, it's but I'll have lunch, pack up the bag, and I'll get caught by Langford. Well, it's silly play because he didn't really know what to do. They've still got it down to Todd Bremen on the half-forward line. He's a good 50 metres out.
I hope he has a shot, Sandy.
Now, this is the boy USA.
Yeah.
Kick a week. Well, let's see what he does.
Put the knocker on him.
There's the kick. It's a good-looking drop punt. It'll go out in front. And waiting at the back is Dargie, but there's some shepherding going on. And then Peter Cameron explaining illegal shepherding. And 15. And he gets good 15.
He could sell real estate for me anytime. Need major surgery to get that whistle out of his hand.
Russell Morris is on half-back. Thought about the hand. But then eventually Morris is kicked. Buckenara the flyer. Can't take the mark. Sparks recovers up the kick. And the big fella Laurie Keane takes it. Plays on. The full forward, Byrne playing from behind, Phil Scott in front, and Scott will have a shot 40 metres out, directly in front. A chance to give Subiaco a break, and just in the time on would be exactly what the Lions would want. The drop punt on its way from Scott. The crowd love it. Filled up, I agree, and Subiaco lead by. Ryan Taylor gets the ball up towards half forward. The mark has been taken by McNish. He knew he'd done wrong. He's given away the kick. And so the hand pass now comes out to Jenke. Jenke's in the middle of the ground. Goes to half forward. A great diving mark taken by Crutchfield.
He's been moved. Dunstall,
Not surprised.
Greg Wilkinson given the tough job.
Crutchfield going out on the far side of the ground. That's Mick Lee. Mick Lee on the wing. Kicks in towards half forward. A lung this kick is into the arms of Andrew McNish. McNish, a high one. Looking again for Scott. Out he comes. Could have been interfered with. Is. Yes. And a good decision. It looks like Michael Byrne paying the penalty for playing. Sand. He can't do that.
Obviously not on someone like this. Here it is again.
All over.
No question. Free kick will go.
Scott scored the last goal for Subiaco to give them a 7-point advantage. And at the 27th mark in the third quarter, this would be a very, very handy goal, to put it mildly. 45 metres out, Phil Scott. The kick's off to the left. I think he's missed. Indeed, he has 1 point only. So it's 88 plays 80.
Even you couldn't have shifted that point post, John.
Mate, I thought you were going to say even I could have kicked that goal. I was going to say, get off.
Rod Lester-Smith to bring the ball back into play. That could prove to be costly missed. Too much strength. He's a much improved player this year and has had a wonderful season. Plays off it across to Russell Morris, but he gets playing beautifully. Got clear to Platt. Platten's under pressure. Kick it only gathered a couple of metres. Todd Bremen goes back into the pack now. He's got support from Kevin Sparks. Close to the boundary line as Platt to Curran, and Curran goes high. Buckenara is well spoiled by O'Loughlin. Platten picks it up, snaps towards full forward. Dunstall is well spoiled, and behind goes on the board, and this crowd has really lifted towards Subiaco in the last 5 minutes.
Greg Wilkinson really destroyed that ball, didn't he?
Play by though Dermot Brereton to tap it down to Buckenara as Bucky was going past.
I thought it was almost Bowie.
That it was a kick in. Wilkinson, a long one. Dwayne Lamb is the target. Goes away from Russo to get the ball, breaks the tackle. There's a hand pass on to Mick Lee, who fumbled, recovered. Lee can go for a bit of a gallop. Tuck coming out to meet him. That means there should be a loose man down there. And, in the air. Georgiades, it looked like. Come unglued, and the expression the better part as Langford socketed through.
We've almost 3 nearly mark of the years in this game, haven't we?
We'll have a look at that again. It was Willett. Call it wrong. It was Willett. This is Lester Smith with the ball. He gets the hand pass further on to Eade. Eade goes with the right foot looking for Brereton. Nearly through his hands though. This is Platten. 55 metres out. Chips it out looking for Dunstall and finds him. Oh! And Zanotti gave him one. I reckon the wind of that would have made him even wider than the lack of sun has, Sandy. Comes up again. Right. Push. Good.
Missed him. He's all right.
So, Jason Dunstall from 35 metres out. Oh, the kick magnificent. It's straight through the centre. And Hawthorn closed within points of Subiaco. 29.5 mark. 4th goal to Dunstall.
And what a magnificent third quarter by Hawthorn to come back from being behind by nearly 4 goals at half-time. 23 points it was, and they've produced a mighty comeback. 6 goals, Subiaco's 2. And we're almost at the 30-minute mark of this third quarter.
Subi still leading by 2 points. Keane up against Deere from the centre. Subiaco through a chance. Swings back onto the right foot, goes into half forward. The spoil came from Morris. Waiting down is Peter Schwab. Goes onto the left. Out wide towards the wing. Jenke is there. With him is Mick Lee. And it's the Subiaco boy who wins out. But there's the siren them as they go into attack once again. And the scene is set for a great struggle in the last quarter, coming away shortly. At 3/4 time, we see Subiaco 13-11, 8-9. leaders over Hawthorn, 13.987.
There you can see the quarter-by-quarter scores in this most enthralling game here in the America's Cup Festival of Sport. Nothing in it at quarter time, 10 points to Subiaco, and it was 70 to 47 at half time, and a very, very closely fought third quarter. A magnificent performance by Hawthorn, I should say, kicking 6 goals in the quarter to just 2 by Subiaco, and there's nothing in it. They're the main goal scorers. Sells has got 3. It's been well held by Lester Smith. Georgiades 2. Keane 2, McNish and Bremen with 1 each, and Peter Curran and Dunstall both with 4 playing superbly. Peter Russo has got a couple, and Jenke coming on at half-time has got a goal as well. Been a superb performance. We'll be back to talk about it while the highlights are on. Dunstall is in there, and he has been, Sandy, very much a focal point in attack for Hawthorn.
Well, Jason Dunstall and Peter Curran have been their 2 winners up forward. To date, each has booted 4. There's Peter Russo. Bringing Hawthorn back into the game. In that term, they added 6 goals for, and at the same time were able to restrict Subiaco, who were off target, but perhaps a lot of the pressure applied by Hawthorn caused that. Subiaco managed just 2 goals, 7 for the term.
I didn't realise, Noddy, they kicked that many points. 270, that's a lot, isn't it?
It was the first quarter in which Subiaco have been wasteful, but, you know, there's Dunstall again. A magnificent player. He's only interested in front position.
Yes, he's played a great quarter. He kicked 2 in that term, but we'll take a quick break and be back with all the action of the final quarter in just a moment.
There's the siren to start the final quarter of play. 89 plays 87. Subi in front. This very enthusiastic crowd coming to life. Which side will get the first goal, and what will be the eventual outcome as the ball is up towards half forward. Willett uses the left foot into the forward line. Dean tries to break away. Tuck hanging onto him. Dean caught, goes to ground. Hawthorn the chance to clear, but the kick smothered. Out it comes now through Handley. It was Burns' kick who was smothered. Handley tries to keep the ball in, but can't. So Subi very quickly into attack, which is a little bit different, Noddy, to what it's been in previous quarters.
It has, and I'm sure that that's the message that Hayden Bunton's given them. They've been slow to start in each quarter.
Handley again. The kick is going to be marked by Mick Lee. It's been touched, though, so play on is the call, rightly so. Nice play by Hawthorn to work it out towards the half-back flank. Whitman on the ground. Kicks towards the wing. Behind Deere. Too tall for Scott. Plays on. Platten running past, accepts the hand pass. Nice left-foot kick, which clean bowls Zanotti and Brereton. Zanotti goes back. Good play to get it into the path of Brereton. By gee, Zanotti comes back strongly. Kicks into the centre of the ground to O'Loughlin. He can get the hand pass to Mick Lee, which he does. Lee puts Subiaco into attack. What can the Lions do?
The long kick from Lee. Oh, there was holding on going there to Byrne, but play's allowed to go on as Tuck gets it clear to Langford. Langford goes short, and the mark is taken there by Russell Morris on half-back. Subiaco lead by 2 points. Morris going towards centre wing. Curran fists it down. First 2 it'll be Glenn O'Loughlin. Pushes it wide. Here's Mick Lee again. Gets his kick as he gets away from Platten down towards full forward. Lester Smith uses the body. Taps it cleverly towards the line. Good defensive work by Lester Smith, who despite an obviously hampered knee has done the job well.
I think they've got to get Bremen back at full forward. Willett's a little bit out of his depth there, I think.
He's giving them a lot more life than what Bremen has.
Keane, a chance as he flicks it over his shoulder and has gone. Whoa. Just what Subiaco needed to start the last quarter and what Hawthorn didn't want.
That's the sort of play that we've become used to seeing from Stephen Michael, where he virtually does his own roving and rucking. And Laurie Keane, this is his home ground. That's his 3rd goal for the game. They train here, they play here, so it must be an advantage.
The crowd starting up the Subiaco chant.
The first time, Sandy, that Subi have scored the first goal in any of the quarters.
8 points the margin. Centre bounce again. Deere tried to push it wide. There was a tackle too high over Whitman's head. Platten couldn't take it. O'Loughlin can. Subi go into attack again. Down towards Keane and Byrne. It's stumped past Willett. Tuck pushes it wide. Almost ran into Carl Langdon. In fact, he did as it goes towards the boundary line. Willett is under enormous pressure. Was he pushed? The fans say yes. The umpire says no. And so you'll have to be right because he's the West Australian umpire, Mick Ball, in charge.
Yeah, okay, ball. The ball to be thrown in just inside the 50-metre line. Keane raises high, but it's kicked away out of defence by Morris. It's up towards the wing. A chance for Hawthorn. Oh, a big thump to Whitten then as he's gone down, and Whitten must take the kick. Don't know what the crowd's booing for. That one was there. Peter Cameron adjudicating correctly. As Whitman kicks up towards Loveridge, who despite intense pressure has taken a good grab. So Hawthorn mounting an attack.
Sells is off the ground for Subi.
Loveridge into the forward line. Almost a great diving mark to Jason Dunstall, but they've done well, Hawthorn, to hold that inside the 50-metre line. 87-95.
Warren off and Stephen Sells back on the ground.
The opportunist Sells as Scott got the knockdown. A chance for Dermot Brereton. The hand pass to Green. Left foot kick at goal by Green is, gee whiz, just offline. But what a magnificent effort.
Yes, the crowd blew that one, I think, Sandy, to make sure it didn't go through the goals.
Would have delighted Russell Green, I think, too,
Oh,
if he'd kicked it, but
sensational.
not to be. 95 plays 88. Subiaco leading. Loveridge in front of Lamb. Towards the boundary line, Russo under pressure. And eventually Peter Cameron comes in and decides upon a bounce. The two number 4s, Russo and Brian Taylor.
I think Hawthorn would have been pleased to get off the unlucky cricketer's number, wouldn't it? They were on 87, now 88.
Number, yes. Brereton will do the ruck work. No, he was a little too late on the scene. Down to Platten. Here's a chance for Hawthorn. How will the bouncing ball go? Dunstall applies the pressure and plenty of it. And Peter Cameron says, no, it was illegal, as Dermot Brereton just twists himself. Who's that? Crutchfield?
Greg
Wilkinson. He's saying, look, what about that? I've got a tap on the buzzer. Well, he doesn't look too hurt.
Brings a tear to the eye, that doesn't it?
Doesn't it? Yeah, especially to Peter Cameron. He wasn't interested, Pete, on that occasion. As Wilkinson goes to the half-back line. Scott and Deere. Waiting down Taylor. Under pressure. This is Brian Taylor at the bottom of the pack. You've got Neil, the skipper, wearing 2. Brian wearing 4.
You've got Lambs and Taylors and all
You've got the lot here. I will say that, John.
Brian Taylor, the runner-up to the Sandover medal this year.
Is the bounce. One by Deere, thrown out by Curran. The hurried kick was by O'Loughlin, but it made little distance at all.
Oops.
They're starting to throw themselves in a bit more. Hanley gets a hurried kick. Brereton couldn't complete the mark. That's the highest we've seen him go today as Schwab puts one over the back. A clever tap on by Russell Green to Russo. This is looking dangerous, but he's going inboard and looking for trouble and has picked up a very, very lucky free kick.
Yes, here it is.
Well, I
was over the top.
The West Australian boy was in motion and there was absolutely nothing he could have done to stop himself.
That's Peter Russo with the ball.
Oscar.
I'm going to have a lot of strife with it. He'll sue me, this bloke.
Yes, and all letters, incidentally, could be directed to John Rogers from the Cameron family. Only joking, Pete, as another goal goes on the board and Hawthorn closes the gap.
That goal to Russo has closed the gap to just 1 point. Subi under pressure as the ball has been taken away by Peter Morris. The kick smothered. They've still got the chance to recover. But here comes Taylor for Subi. He's caught. Gets the kick on. Oh, courageous stuff for Mick Lee. He had no idea what was coming at him. I'm sure we'll get a chance to have a look at that again. Really, Keane was sliding in to take it, but Mick Lee had no idea of that.
And what a busy player he's been since he came on the ground.
Well,
in the third quarter.
It's 95-94. Subi clinging to a 1-point lead at the 7-minute mark. Mick Lee would make a hero of himself if he gets this. Lee's kick looks all right. Goal umpire just stands and watches it go by at a 7-point margin to Subiaco.
Great stuff at the moment, Ken, isn't it? Goal for goal.
Sandy, and it's the best start Subi have made to a quarter. They've usually finished on very strongly, but they must have realised at three-quarter time, being 2 points only in front, they've led at every change. They couldn't afford to start slowly.
Margin is now 7 points. And here goes the chant again from this great crowd. And there once again is that grab of Mick Lee's.
24 scoring shots to 26.
Tells the story, doesn't it? Centre bounce again from the middle. Deere and Scott, won by the ladder. Subiaco into attack. The hurried kick is by Taylor to the half-forward line. And the mark has been taken by Bremen. Todd Bremen. Now, according to John Rogers, he'll kick this, no worries, the distance.
Have a look at his kicking action. It's the cleanest, most precise kicking action I've seen in a long while.
We saw him kick 1 goal in the first quarter, but if he boots this, it's making Hawthorn's task that much harder. Lovely looking drop punt off the boot, and he's goal. And now the Hawks have a battle on their hands.
Yes, just the sort of finish that Subiaco needed, and Todd Bremen there on your screen. He's in the Sheffield Shield cricket side last year. An excellent fast bowler, and managed to kick 6 goals. And here's the kicking style. He's just jabbed at this one, and it's covered 3.5 acres.
You could sell real estate for me as well. 107 plays, 94. Subiaco in front. We're 9.5 minutes into the final quarter of what has really been a most enthralling, exciting game of football. Scott and Deere to contest the centre ruck work. Line ball, Scott may be marginally ahead. A kick into attack by Curran, who's got 4 goals. Out comes a Spark. It's knocked away from him. A chance for Green if he can get there. Juggles. Nice possession. Goes by hand to Russo. Russo in turn, a long hand pass to Loveridge. Back to Russo it comes. That's the advantage of being able to kick with the left foot to the 25-metre line. Who was holding whom? Nobody knows. It tripped. Was it seen? It wasn't. And on the bottom of that was Peter Curran, who made a lot of distance to get down to the 25-metre line. And it's going to be bounced just outside Hawthorn's goal. Scott to Zanotti. Zanotti threads his way through traffic. Goes for a run. Brereton in pursuit. Long kick. Straight into the arms of Land. Land kicks back into the centre of the ground looking for Langdon and finds him. Langdon onto the left foot. Going back McNish. And gee, that was good play, defence to attack. McNish is going to have to play on now. Went to get the hand pass. 45 metres out, a high kick. Keane trying to get possession. Nearly, not quite. And Lester Smith said, hang on, fellas, enough is enough. 1 point.
It looked like a galloping hat rack, isn't it? Gee, look at that.
He's got to clench his fist or he'll walk on his fingers, I tell you.
Lester Smith brings the ball back into play. Hawthorn got to get this ball back into attack once again. Here's Mick Lee. Gee, has he been damaging since coming onto the ground. But Loveridge is forced over the line. He was over the line.
Hasn't the tackling been magnificent, the smothering?
Yep. That's Neil Taylor showing the example. Crowd not happy with Peter Cameron there. Here's the throw in. Down to Taylor again. Well, he ducked his head, so play on is the call. Trying to get clear was Taylor again, close to the boundary line. Carl is the call as Langdon is set upon.
He's only a lad. I think he still goes to one of the colleges here, Hale School, or he may have just left, but it's line ball. As we've said before on a couple of occasions, his 4th game of league footy.
Bounce again. Deere positioned himself better for Scott. Ducking his head on that occasion was Willett. Getting caught was Scott. And again, we've got a bit of a stalemate down in that right forward pocket.
A lot of pressure, Sandy.
There's a ton of pressure, and there's a margin of 14 points favouring Subiaco, so it's Hawthorn that have got to do the work to get the ball out of this area and up the other end of the ground. Deere dumps it towards Russo, but he has it taken by McNish. Just a short little jab. That's all it's needed, and the mark was taken by Mick Lee.
Has to be the busiest player in the second half almost, isn't he?
Well, coming from the interchange bench, and have a look at this.
Gee, there'd be some tired bodies out there.
Lee has kicked 1 goal. I would suggest if he kicks this at the 13-minute mark, it's going to make things pretty tough for the Hawkers. There's the kick from Lee, and it just shaves the post.
The silence.
109 plays 94 at the 13-minute mark of the final quarter as Lester Smith brings the ball in for the Hawks. It's a long one. Handley's the target. He's tall. Knocked it on cleverly. Platten off the ground, which is good play. In pursuit is O'Loughlin. Platten overran that, which allowed O'Loughlin into the contest. McNish to Taylor. Taylor, unfortunately, couldn't do anything with it. This is Peter Schwab with the ball. A high kick, missed everybody. Back goes Zanotti for it. To Dwayne Lamb. Lamb's kick through Deer's hands. Deer showed great presence of mind to go back, however. This is Langford trying to do something with the ball. Schwab goes in as well. That's him with it now to Deer. Deer's run into a brick wall. Schwab's in trouble. Got the hand pass to Loveridge. Loveridge in turn excellently to Whitman, who puts a long kick up to the 50-metre line. Brereton paid it. Yeah, I would have paid that. Dermot Brereton puts it up high, flat in the target. It won't come down for him. And this could be trouble, and I'd say that'll be a kick to Subiaco's Clinton Brown on the bottom of that. No, it's Dwayne Lamb.
So Lamb,
Get it right in a minute. Phil Lamb.
from half back, goes short, finds Keane. Keane, a long talk towards centre wing. The juggle continues. Whitman takes it off the pack, gives it across to his skipper in Tuck, who goes up towards the right half-forward flank. Brereton comes over the top and takes a good one-grab mark. There's no one in the square. He goes short again, and this is where they're falling down. Straight to his immediate opposition is Zanotti.
He'd hate that.
Oh,
Of all the blokes on the ground, he wouldn't want to give it to him.
well, he just bounced his way casually down towards Dwayne Lamb. Plays on again now. His pass is up towards half-forward. A clever tap on over the back was by Willett because he knew he couldn't reach it. Byrne got rid of it quickly. McNish got a bad bounce. Goes in after it now, and McNish comes out with it. Another little chip. Short towards Big Carl. He's under pressure, Langdon. Gets it wide towards Michael Lee. Lee's been the sensation in this second half. Goes up towards full forward. Lester Smith stopped, and the kick by Sells goes right across the face of goal. And as the crowd hushes, it'll be Russell Morris to clear. Wide to the outer wing. The opportunity is there for Dargy. Dargy does well to shoot it across, but good interception here, and the mark is taken by Peter Curran. G. Hawthorn are under pressure. Up towards the right half-forward plate, Jason Dunstall, 4 goals to his credit. Plays on quickly now. Here's an opportunity as the kick goes in towards goal. It looks pretty good, and the Hawks could come back through Russell.
9 points the difference as the ball is bounced in the centre. A chance for them. Morris comes through with a ball. A little chip pass. Wasn't Morris, it was Whitman. Whitman's kick has been taken by Rodney Eade, and they've got some gaps here as Buckenara is going to kick long at goal. He's kicked long and accurately, yes indeed. And there is now just 3 points in this game, and that's Buckenara's first.
And what a timely goal too from Gary Buckenara. How often does he pop up and kick that crucial goal? And Eade, what a magnificent player he is. A beautiful pass, and Bucky makes no mistake about it, right out on his own. And as John Rogers said, the difference is 3 points, and we've played almost 17 minutes.
The atmosphere of a State of Origin game once again, and the scoreboard also telling the story. 109 plays 106. The home side, Subiaco leading. The centre bounce once again. Keane gets a mighty run-up, but it's Schwab who takes it out of the middle. Hawthorn into attack, but Dunstall beaten by Zanotti, and Zanotti from half-back will steady things down. Buckenara creeping in on the mark, so he's got to be taken out of it. Zanotti has been busy. Go towards Lee. Eade, back with Lee. Gee, he's been a goer. Langford, chance now for Bremen. Gets it across to O'Loughlin, towards the half-forward line. Mark's got to be paid.
Sells.
And Stephen Sells, who had such a wonderful start to the game, he booted 3 goals. Too far out to score here, but it'll float a flat-looking drop punt in towards full forward. Fisted away from Scott. Now, who's going to be first to recover? The 2 Subiaco boys run into each other to allow Hanley through, and Chopper Hanley, as he's affectionately known, gets a handball to Russo. Put him under a bit of pressure. Oh, big effort. Ran into a brick wall. Still got rid of the ball to Russo, who taps it further forward towards Morris. Whitman overruns it. Platten says, give it to me. I'm getting out of here with a couple of bounces, and let's see what we can do about it. Green has dropped into the space. Into the open goal goes Russell Green, and Hawthorn has hit the front.
Hawthorn brilliantly 3 points in front. Subiaco now with the job to do. Hawthorn with their tails in the air. What can Subi do? Dargy tries to thump it into the park. He follows it up. Dargy now at the left, put into the forward line. Sells and Tuck brilliantly. He's caught. Sells goes over the top. And I thought I heard a whistle blow. Couldn't have. As out comes the hand pass. Running onto it superbly is Curran. Curran goes long towards half forward, knocked away from Dunstall. He recovers quicker though. Dunstall, a long searching hand pass, tried to find Platten, but it's out of bounds.
Jason Dunstall out at centre half forward. Dermot Brereton at full forward.
17-10, 112 Hawthorn. 16-13, 109 Subiaco. 19 and 3/4 minutes in we are at the moment. And Hawthorn doing it well at this stage as Loveridge kicks into the forward line. Brereton goes one-handed. Wilkinson towards the boundary line. And locking legs there a little bit.
Desperation stakes.
23 plays versus 29. Ball out of bounds in the right full forward pocket for Hawthorn. They're looking good at the moment, Sandy.
Danger signs are up for Subiaco here, John, although it's only just over the 20-minute mark with Hawthorn in attack. If they score one here, it's going to make it tough because it'll mean Subiaco need at least 2 to be back in business. Platten pushed into the ball, but Peter Cameron will have none of it. Phil Lamb going over the top and a ball up to take place. Been a great game in wonderful conditions here at the Subiaco ground this afternoon. A close contest, particularly in the second half when Hawthorn, trailing by 23 points at half-time, looked in real strife. But they've come back and come back very strongly indeed. Sparks it was, who goes down towards the half-back line. Intercepted, however. Whitman goes towards Rocket Rodney Eade. It passes him. Schwab showed courage to put his body in there, but to no avail as McNish got it out. Here's a chance now for Dwayne Lamb. Lamb goes down towards the right half-forward flank. The bouncing ball is tapped in play, but it could be good for Lester Smith or Russell Morris. Yes, across to Langford. Back to Morris is good play. Lester Smith does the shepherding work. That's solid play. Down towards centre wing. Whitman caught one too high, and he will take the free kick.
They worked it out beautifully from defence then, Sandy. Hawthorn. Cool as you like under pressure.
Got Eade short if he wants him. He'll take him and then probably go back to Whitman. No, short again. Chris Langford's on centre wing. Longer. Up towards half-forward. Brereton will fly from behind. Couldn't take the mark. The opportunity for O'Loughlin to get clear. He can't. Buckenara to Russo. Danger here. In towards goal. It's a lovely-looking kick. Brereton goes back, but it sails straight through the middle. And Hawthorn starting to finish really well here at Subiaco.
Absolutely in full flight at the moment, and this is the Hawthorn grand finalists of 1986, and we're seeing them at their best. 118 to 109, 9 points in front. Subi aren't done yet as Taylor puts the ball high. Keane trying to come out in front, knocked away from him. Sells runs at it with Lester Smith. Going through to is Willett. Sells swoop. Oh, but well done, Lester Smith. But I think in his endeavours has given away a free kick to Subiaco's Rod Willett. And Langdon is available. They're all closing on him. And superb punch away in defence for Hawthorn by Chris Langford. Sees the margin close to 8 points.
Some real hungry players out there, and they're as desperate as you come.
Well, there's 20,000 reasons why.
Not wrong.
$20,000 to the victors.
23 minutes into the last quarter. Waiting on the ball to be brought back in play. 8 points the difference. Down the middle she goes. Keane is there. Thumps it to the ground. Here's a chance for them. This is Mick Lee. Stops, props, long kick. Sells coming out in front. Won't get there in time. And it's out of bounds. Right full forward pocket for the Lions, who are trailing at this stage by 8 points at the 23.5-minute mark, final quarter.
1.5 minutes and time on to play. Subi need a goal and want it badly. They've got the opportunity through Langdon. But no. The opposing number 24, Rocket Eade, is the one who'll clear. McNish could be first to this ball. Opposing him is Schwab, who rips him off the football. He had to stop him, I guess. And so McNish will go into attack. He's got the big fella at full forward. That's where it's going. Byrne is with him. Tapped over the back with the height. No play on, calls Peter Cameron. No mark.
Good decision.
Yes, and for Laurie to think that he could bluff the umpire.
Not Peter Cameron.
No, mate. He went up one-handed, Keane, and it wasn't his mark. No way.
So a bounce 15 metres out from the Subiaco goal with Hawthorn leading. They've got to do something here. The margin is 8 points. Loveridge is clear and he bursts out of the pack. Subiaco in trouble now as Loveridge's kick goes to his co-rover Platten on centre wing. Platten will just paddle it forward and don't worry about picking it up. Just push it away from the opposition goal and a throw in to take place. Glenn O'Loughlin doing the chasing on that occasion, but he couldn't catch Johnny Platten. Dear slaps it over the back. A good smother by Richard Loveridge and good shepherding by Green sees Loveridge clear to back up his solid work with a left foot wobbly old kick down towards the half-forward line. Peter Curran a chance now, but he's doing it 2 against 1. Going in strongly there was Kevin Sparks, and eventually it's Sparks who comes away with it, gets the handball out. This is Wilkinson. Wilkinson goes wide to Zanotti. He's ripped off the football. Still in play. Still keep going as Curran goes in towards full forward. Whitman's down there, and he's taken over the line, and a throw-in to take place in Hawthorn's right forward pocket. But now, John, time on to play. Subi want to score.
Indeed they do. They're 8 points behind. We're into the time on period by 19 seconds, Sandy. And Hawthorn doing the attacking. Brereton with the ball. A backhand pass to Loveridge. Loveridge's long kick. A goal here is going to make it very difficult. Miss.
So 9 points the difference now.
Nothing
so really, Subiaco need to kick 2 goals and restrict Hawthorn to nothing.
So
big
this
task.
big crowd. Subiaco led for most of the day, but Hawthorn showing the class that they undoubtedly have come back at the business end of the game, if you like.
I think no matter what the result is, football's the big winner, Sandy.
Might well.
You know, it's a magnificent exhibition of football.
Yep. I hope our friends in Victoria are enjoying this telecast. It's exciting here, and I hope it is over there at our friends down in Bunbury as well, as Brereton has the ball. He's caught, bit rough, umpire.
What hope did he have? The ball was held to him.
He had our hope. We're sitting up here. And he's explaining that to umpire Mike Ball, as Wilkinson gets the hand pass away. Here's trouble.
He's played well, hasn't he?
Yeah, Lee gets around a couple, is in strife. The hand pass off to Scott, who's well caught. Great tackle that time. Put on, looked like
Green.
Curran, was it? Curran 25. Good strong tackle. Throw in forward of left wing for Hawthorn. Deere got the ball down. Sparks tries to come through, breaks a couple. The kick should be all Hawthorn. Tuck goes through, collides with his own man. Langdon, he's gone. Too long, son. As Buckenara out the back door. Eade, long hand pass. Handley, left foot kick out of trouble. Up towards the 50-metre line. Dunstall and Zanotti. Dunstall puts it on O'Loughlin. Back comes Mark Zanotti. He'll go for one of those runs of his, but he can go almost to the centre. Kicks with the right foot. A lot of strife and Langford here, as Langford does take the ball. Kicks it back into the centre of the ground. Waiting down for it, Dargy. Swooping on it, looks like Lamb has a bounce. Kicks with the left foot. Subiaco needs something here. Up to Keane. Too far for him. Back goes the big fella Byrne.
Oh, no.
Here's Sells. Sells' left foot. Shot at goal. It's through. And Subia not done with yet.
Centre bounce. There's only 3 points to difference. If Subi can score here, it's Lamb who sends them into attack. Down towards full forward, or Keane gave a decent old nudge. Lester Smith heads for the boundary, and it rolls over. But they've got it in their attacking zone. We've played 28 and a half minutes. I'd imagine probably another minute or so. Here's the throw-in. Byrne comes in to do the ruck work, but he's beaten by Keane, who gets a hurried high kick, gathers little distance, not even 10 metres. Oh, the mark not quite taken by Todd Bremen. Pushed out wide towards Platten. He's under pressure from O'Loughlin. Sits over the ball. The West Australian boys call for holding the ball, but no.
Todd Bremen could have been the mayor of Subiaco and Western Australia if he had held that.
Byrne goes for a roundhouse right and misses. And we'll see another ball up.
Tell you what, Sandy, there's going to be no standing back now. No place for the faint-hearted out there.
35 metres out from Subiaco's goal. They trail by 3 points. It's tapped wide. Taylor saying, go on, go on. And so does Mick Lee. He gets clear. Goes with a high kick down towards full forward. Puck comes in from the side. Can't take the mark, but recovers nicely. Sufficiently so to give it to Lester Smith. That's a poor kick. That's a poor kick. It's been taken by Sparks. Sparks is a shocker. He has gone literally too. And it's on the outer side of the ground. Well, they've only got themselves to blame as Green goes in, goes to ground, and Peter Cameron comes in for a bounce. But there was the classic example of the desperation shown by both of these sides in the closing stages of this very thrilling match.
Nearly 30 minutes gone in the last quarter. 3 points to difference. Subi have got to get something going now as Dwayne Lamb kicks long. This might be their last chance. Sells underneath it. And is there a kick?
Yes.
Looks like a gutsy to Sells.
Nick Ball.
Brave decision, Michael Ball.
He doesn't have to travel home by plane. There's the siren.
The siren's gone.
The siren has sounded.
Well, here's the situation. Serbia 3 points behind. The siren has gone. Rod Willett has got the ball 60 metres out. This kick could win the game. It's going to be close. It's not. And Hawthorn have won. I don't think anyone's heard the siren, or has it gone?
There's the siren. Oh, now what's happening?
I thought the siren had gone because the police came on the ground. It's only a point. The siren must have gone. I haven't heard the siren.
Yeah.
It's gone.
They've rung it three times. They've rung it 3 times. It's all over.
Yes.
It's all over. And the champions are Hawthorn. We'll have to wait for the official announcement whether it's 2 or 3 points.
3 points, guarantee it.
Yep. So the final score shows Hawthorn 18-11, 119. I think Subiaco may be 17-14, 116. But we'll wait for the official announcement to come through. But Hawthorn has taken all before them this year, including the battle for the champions.
This is a shot of, from a helicopter of the Subiaco Oval. Victorian viewers and viewers from the southwest of Western Australia in what has been truly a magnificent game of football here this afternoon to really climax the 1986 season. There's the quarter-by-quarter scores. Subi by 10 points at quarter time, extended their lead 70-47, nothing into the three-quarter time. And look at Hawthorn's second half. An absolutely superb performance. 7-18, they kicked, 11 goals in the second half to Subiaco's 6. And therein lay the story. I think looking down over the top that Grant Dorrington has got one of Subiaco's players in Laurie Keane standing by to have a talk. Let's go down and see what Grant's got to say.
$20,000 to the winners.
Thanks, John. With me is Laurie Keane, a player who played very well today. Laurie, from the players' point of view, what do you think of the game?
Oh, it was a great game. It was full pressure. They tackled really hard. As soon as you got the ball, you knew you had it. And they hit you very hard, and it was a great game.
Laurie, I think one of the things everyone wants to know is how hard is it to come up after a grand final win, which Subiaco had, and the Hawthorn players?
Well, full marks for Hawthorn. We had an extra week to prepare ourselves for this game, and they got up and beat us, and it was hard getting ourselves up, but Bunce is a motivator. He's a great man. He's a great motivator, and he motivated us well and truly. We just let him down at the end.
Laurie, Subiaco, West Australian premiers, how did you find Hawthorn, the VFL premiers, a side we hear a lot about over here in the West?
Well, at first I thought we had them on toast, you know. It was just that last quarter which let us down, and third quarter we let them into the game, and we didn't really go on with it. But they're a great side, and full credit to them.
Laurie, what's going to happen in 1987 from Laurie Keane? You've had a magnificent season over here in WA. What's Laurie Keane doing in 1987?
I'll be playing for the first composite side, and hopefully winning the premiership at the end of it all.
Thank you very much, Laurie. Congratulations on a great game and a magnificent effort all season from you. Back to John in the commentary box.
Good on you, Grant. Thanks very much. And